TL. It's your boy, Let Us Pray. Hope you're having a blessed and a prosperous day. Lord, we thank you for the day after the draft. First round of the draft, that is. I just wanted to do some Falcons therapy this morning, man. I just wanted to talk to some of our fans. I know some of y'all disappointed, some of y'all perplexed, some of y'all out there thinking, what is we doing? What is we doing, y'all? What is we doing? Why did we get Dallas Turner? Why did we get Latu? Why did we get Jared Verse? Um, Falcons got their guy though. Coach Heen, Zach Robinson, they identified their guy. Um, I think that was made clear to me about a month and a half ago when the Falcons flew. I believe Arthur Blank, Raheem Morris, Zach Robinson, Terry Fontenot, um, all those guys flew out to Seattle and watched Michael Penix Jr. Um, See if I can find that article, but yeah, they were very impressed with Michael Penix Jr. I mean, like they were impressed with this guy. Um, I think they were hoping that he was gonna fall to the second round a month and a half ago. Um, but I believe at that time they knew they wanted to draft this kid. They wanted to get their quarterback of the future. They didn't want to make the same mistake that the Falcons had made during the Matt Ryan era. And I can't be mad at it. Would I have done it like that? Probably, probably not. Just me personally, I probably wouldn't have done it. But um, he's our guy. What can we say? He's our guy. Okay. Um, he's the guy that the front office targeted. They did not want to go through the Kirk Cousins era, whether it's 2 years or 3 years, and then not have the replacement ready. Okay, we saw what that looked like with Marcus Mariota, with Desmond Ritter, and with Taylor Heineke. That's 3 years wasted. We wasted 3 years not having another quarterback ready during the Matt Ryan era. Okay, so um, I can't really be mad at the pick. I will say this pick will be directly tied to Raheem Morris's future as the Falcons coach. If this pick doesn't work, this is a bold pick. This is a bold pick. New coach coming in. You know you need help on defense, and you take a backup quarterback with a top 10 pick. This pick will be directly tied to Raheem Morris's future, whether good or bad. So I hope it works because I love Coach Raheem Morris. I love this dude's energy. I love his presence. I mean, he just he's not only is he a leader, but he's charismatic. Um, but if this don't work, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. But I think the guy's a stud though. Led his team to a national championship last year. Um, I think he's one of the most pure throwers in the draft. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Come on in. Come on in. This Falcons therapy, man. Let me know how y'all feeling. Let me know how y'all are feeling right now, day after the draft. Let me know, man. Hit me up in the comment section. I'm gonna put up a poll though. Let me put up a poll. Okay. Let me put this poll up. Let me put this poll up, y'all. How do you feel about the Michael Penix Jr. pick? That's what I want to know. If you're in here, come on, drop in. Let your boy know how you feel about the Michael Penix Jr. pick. Let me just do it normal. I am at a conference right now, so I'm in my hotel room. Uh, had some issues last night getting my room situated, so I wanted to go live last night, but I did not. How do you feel about the Michael Penix Jr.? All right, here we go. It's my question. How do you feel about the Michael Penix Jr. draft pick? Smart move, decent move. We just falconed again. I want to know. I want to get your votes. Let me get your votes. How do you feel about the Michael Penix Jr. draft pick? Um, Let me say this though, man. If we got this guy in the second round or the third round, I know a lot of people are angry, but I don't think you guys would be angry um, with the pick itself. I think it's just the fact that he was picked so high. He was picked in the top 10. But if you look at how the draft went, I believe the Falcons knew if this is the guy they targeted as their developmental quarterback, the guy that they want to sit behind Kirk Cousins, he wasn't going to be there day two. He wasn't going to be there. You had the Minnesota Vikings who needed a quarterback. You had the Oakland Raiders who needed a quarterback. Um, and you already had uh, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and Drake May gone. First three picks, automatic. So then you got then you got the Vikings, and you got the Raiders, and the Raiders were rumored. The Raiders were rumored to have been all in for Michael Penix Jr. as well. So if he got to 13, he was going to be gone. Okay. And then you look at what you're left with after that. If you're the Falcons, day two, who Broncos got Bo Nix because Sean Payton liked Bo Nix. So you weren't going to be left with a quarterback unless you were going to get somebody like Spencer Rattler, day two, and then I'm pretty sure like fans would have been like, "What, Spencer Rattler?" Or are you going to pick up a Joe Milton or somebody like that in the third or fourth round? So you know, I'm okay with the pick, man. I'm okay with the pick. I'm thinking they really prioritizing the future. Uh, I, Kirk Cousins is on a 2-year deal, basically, man. He's going to cost us a draft pick, which is kind of like it's just a matter of time till the NFL finishes their tampering investigation. And I don't know if that's left a sour taste in the mouth of Terry Fontenot and Arthur Blank. I don't think that really matters, but could there be something with Kirk Cousins' development in this Achilles injury? Could it be something going on with his his therapy that he's going through right now, his physical therapy? Could maybe he's not on track, maybe he's not on schedule. We don't know. We don't know. So maybe they need a guy sooner than later. We don't know. Um, but all I can say is they went after the guy they wanted, and I applaud it. Would you rather be thinking, oh, we got Michael Penix Jr. as our backup in case something's wrong with Kirk Cousins, or would you rather be like, oh, Taylor Heineke is our guy sitting behind Kirk Cousins in case something happens to Kirk Cousins? I feel a little more encouraged with Michael Penix Jr. in case something's wrong with Kirk Cousins than I am Taylor Heineke. I mean, come on, y'all. Quarterback is the most important position on the field. Um, I don't think you can ever have enough good quarterback options in your quarterback room. Good quarterback options, competent quarterback options. And I think this kid, barring any injuries, I think the kid is going to be good. I think he's going to be good. Okay. The big concerns about him were, his knees and his shoulder injury, not how well he can play the quarterback position. He showed that he can play the quarterback position. He can make all the throws. Okay. Clearly, they identified him as a guy who's a great processor. That's what Zach Robinson said he wanted. Okay. I know he's a competitor. He went out there and led his team to the national championship last year. Okay. So it's gonna be all right. Falcons therapy, baby. We here. But if you don't agree, by all means, hit me up in the comment section, man. If you don't agree, it's all good. But I'm just here for y'all. I'm here for y'all. I know. I was driving during the draft. I was driving. I was watching it on my phone, Hulu Live. Thank God for Hulu Live. Um, and I was like, oh man, I know some of our fan base is going crazy right now. But I know Dallas Turner was like the guy that was mocked to us, right? But then Dallas Turner almost falls all the way out of the teens. He almost fell all the way out of the teens, man. So you got to be looking like, okay, a lot of teams are passing on this guy. And I was honestly comfortable with us not drafting Dallas Turner anyway, because I just think he's like a one trick pony. And I was getting Vic Beasley vibes from Dallas Turner. No offense, and I could be wrong. You could come back and tell me, boy, let us pray. You were wrong. Look how good this kid is. But I was getting Vic Beasley vibes, bro. I was getting Vic Beasley vibes from, the athletic freak, the fast guy, the guy with the quick twitch muscles. Oh, he's super fast and he could jump high, and he giving me Vic Beasley vibes. We don't want another Vic Beasley, bro. Um, I was kind of hoping we traded back, though. This was my scenario. A lot of my mock drafts, I traded back to like 16, and I picked up an additional third rounder and fifth rounder or something like that. And I was getting like Jared Verse, and even Jared Verse, he actually fell a little further than I thought he would. Um, but yeah, no trade back. No trade back, man. I was kind of surprised when I knew we weren't trading back. I had a feeling that we were not getting Dallas Turner, and I think a lot of other teams may have been they may have shied away from Turner just because he is still a project. He's not a complete product. I think Latu was definitely the best pass rusher in the draft, but the medical concerns um, may have still scared some of the teams away from him, even though he had been cleared like a year later. after retiring due to the medical issues, but I think Latu is definitely the most complete pass rusher in the draft. Um, I think Turner, if he's coached up and if he has the drive, if he puts in the work, if he stays injury free, he could end up being the best pass rusher out of that draft due to his physical traits. But he's not that guy right now. You're just drafting him based upon potential. But Latu, yeah, I think it went in the order that it should have. I think Latu was the better guy. Um, Dallas Turner, the guy who could potentially have the highest ceiling if he reaches his full potential, and then Jared Verse, who's just like solid. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's gonna. He may not be like a multiple time Pro Bowler, but he's gonna be solid. I think he's gonna have a 10-year career, at least. So I like I liked how the flow went for that draft. Not a lot of defense going in the first round. A lot of offensive players being taken, man. Um, First three picks are quarterbacks. Then you got who was it? Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors. You got the tackles going. So people really prioritizing offense early on in the draft, which was interesting. But the main two positions were offensive line. I mean, you knew the Chargers. I knew the Chargers were going to take offensive line. Jim Harbaugh, he's going to draft the trenches. He might draft three linemen. I mean, his first three picks as head coach. He usually doubles up. He usually doubles up on linemen. He's going to definitely protect his quarterback. He's going to build his team from the inside out. Um, which I love about the Jim Harbaugh because he does not play around. Okay, he starts from the inside out as it should be. But on day two, what are you expecting on day two? Now that we have identified who we want as our quarterback of the future, what are you looking for day two? What are you looking for day two, Falcon fans? Are you expecting the best edge prospect, maybe a Marshawn Nealon? Um, Darius Robinson got selected at the end of the first round. I was cringing when I heard his name, but I think this dude's going to be good, man. He was so good in the Senior Bowl. Darius Robinson from Missouri. I was hoping he made it to the second round. Um, Maybe we go for a guy like Jonah Ellis from Utah, I believe. That's Caden Ellis's little brother. Maybe we go for a Jonah Ellis. Okay, he could be a guy that we target. Caden Ellis is linebacker on the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, his little brother's in the draft. Maybe he's a guy that we've targeted. Second, third round guy. Maybe could slip to the fourth round. He could be a guy that we target. Um, a guy that I really liked who may fall. He may not be drafted to the sixth round, fifth or sixth round, but this guy was productive in college, Colorado State. A lot of injuries, just like um, Michael Penix Jr., but very productive. Mohamed Kamara. Watch that name. If this guy stays healthy, he could be a nice rotational piece. Specialized pass rusher, Mohamed Kamara. He may slip to like the fifth or sixth round, but he was a nightmare in the Pac 12. Sometimes he got hurt during the game. He sit on the sideline for a few plays, then he come back in. I mean, guy's tough as nails, but he gets to the quarterback. So watch him. He may be a sneaky. He might be a sneaky pick for us. So if you're sad, if you're perplexed, man, if you're frustrated, I get it. I get it. Um, we just haven't had a great track record of drafting um, pass rushers, you know. but maybe we'll identify somebody in this second or third day. So stay encouraged, y'all. I'm just here, I'm just here to get y'all through this day. Um, I was smiling. I was smiling, and I'm still smiling about the pick because I'm like, did we just Falcon? Like, did we just Falcon? Like, falconing is a verb now. Okay, falconing is a verb. It kind of means like you did something that was against the grain. You did something that nobody thought you would do. Um, that was unsuccessful. That's kind of like falconing with the NFL community. But I don't think we falconed. I don't think we falconed yesterday. I think we just thought outside of the box. I during that first round, I thought, well, maybe we trade back in to the first round since we have our additional third rounder, and maybe we couple a second round pick with our additional third round pick, and we trade back in and we get that pass rusher because they were falling um, towards the 20s, and I thought, well, maybe it won't be as expensive, uh, you know, draft capital wise, if we trade back in to get one of these pass rushers. But they eventually went. You saw the Minnesota Vikings though; they traded back in to get who was it? Dallas Turner. They traded back in for. So other teams had the same thought process as me. They want to trade back in and get one of those guys. Those guys were thought to be. I think Dallas Turner was like number 9 on some people's big board, top 9 guy uh, prospect in the draft, and he falls all the way out of the teams. So um, that was a really good pickup by the Minnesota Vikings. Um, I'm definitely glad we got Michael Penix though. Look at what we could have been left with if we didn't get Penix right there. Then our only other options would have been uh, Jordan Travis, Florida State, Joe Milton, Tennessee, Spencer Rattler. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I am not. I'm not even gonna entertain it. But could you imagine if something happened to Kirk Cousins one of the first couple weeks of the season, and we roll out Taylor Heineke again next year as the backup? Could you imagine what going to be said on message boards like the Falcoholic, man? Uh, our fans would be having a field day. Okay, I will be doing wellness checks on you guys. But I think we're just looking towards the future, man. We got a new team. Uh, we got a new coach, new offensive coordinator. I fully expect us to be defensive heavy though today. Uh, Backup quarterback was one of the things I identified as our need. Uh, cornerback, cornerback. Um, Still need an edge, of course. I expect those two needs to be addressed today. Still a lot of great wide receivers in this draft. Could we get a wide receiver today? Possibly. Troy Franklin's still out there. He's from my hometown, East Palo Alto. Shout out to Troy Franklin. Um, Lad McConkey is still out there, I believe. Um, what was my other guy? Malachi Corley, a guy that I really like. He's still out there. He could be available uh, maybe early on in the third round. We got those 2 third round picks. We also need a safety. So I guess my ideal scenario would be maybe we get Marshawn Nealon, second round. He falls to us. I think he's out of Western Kentucky. Um, then if third round, we could pick up Malachi Corley and a Cole Bishop today, or a TJ. We might need to get TJ Tampa actually in the second round. He's a solid corner. Um, so if we get a TJ Tampa with a Marshawn Nealon third round, and then a Malachi Corley or Cole Bishop, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Any combination of those players, I'm really good with, or even a Troy Franklin. Maybe we identified Troy Franklin in the second round, but I definitely think I would be a little more happy if we went defense second round. So let me see. We got 2 poll votes. How do you feel about the Michael Penix Jr.? Decent move. Okay. 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 So we got some solid some neutral. We got some neutral votes. I want to see how you guys really feel though. Anybody think that it was a smart move? Smart move to get Michael Penix Jr. Because those quarterbacks were going to be gone, man. Falcons must have knew something that we didn't know. Those quarterbacks were be gone. I'm watching the Bo Nix highlights right now on ESPN. Bo Nix didn't even make it to Raiders. Bo Nix didn't even make it to the Raiders. All the quarterbacks were 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks. Never happened in the NFL draft ever. Never happened. Too many teams needed quarterbacks this year. And you could say, well, let us pray. We really didn't need a quarterback. We just got Kirk Cousins. And I understand what you're saying, but the guy is still rehabbing from a torn Achilles. So Michael Penix Jr. is a great insurance policy to have just in case he's not ready. But even so, let that young man just sit behind Kirk, hold the clipboard for a couple years, let him soak in the NFL game, let him get a chance to see how fast the game is, let him learn from Kirk Cousins, let Kirk take him under his wing. Man, let him just soak up all that Kirk Cousins knowledge, and 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 then let the boy spin once Kirk can get off the books after year 2, and hand over the keys to the young man. Look at Jordan Love. Look at Jordan Love, man. He sat patiently behind Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying Jordan Love is a superstar yet by any means, but I think that's a just a great model. Like the shout out to Rev Trev, one of my really good friends, man. He has a channel. Um, if you like Packers content, you know what I'm saying, go to his channel. The Packers have given us the model for what it is to be successful at the quarterback position as a franchise. Brett Favre, okay? Then when they're like, you know what, Brett is getting a little old, we need to draft his successor, Aaron Rodgers. Okay? Brett comes back, but Aaron sits on the bench. It's okay. They drafted him in the first round, and they still had Brett Favre. Okay? It's okay. Brett Favre, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Kirk Cousins is not near the quarterback that Brett Favre was. You have to draft. You have to draft your quarterback of the future while you still have competent quarterback play. I believe in that wholeheartedly. And then they have Aaron Rodgers, who turns out to be a mega star. Okay? And then he starts getting old. And they're like, you know what? We need to draft the quarterback of the future. They get Jordan Love in the first round. And look at Jordan Love. They should have beat the 49ers last year in the playoffs. That guy was playing so good. All right? So you have to draft your quarterback and give him a chance to sit. Not everybody's going to be a CJ Stroud who can just come in and be amazing, be amazing from day one. I mean, some of us need to sit down and learn and process things for a little bit. So I think we did a good thing. I think we did a good thing. Um, but I wasn't feeling the JJ McCarthy hype. I think JJ McCarthy is like Mac Jones 2.0. I think he's overrated. I think Jim Harbaugh did a great job with him in college. They ran the ball heavy, but or maybe not even a Mac Jones. Maybe he's like a Ryan Tannehill. You know what I'm saying? He might have a couple good seasons, but overall, I don't think he's going to be a franchise guy. I just don't I just don't see it with him. Um, I think because his team won the national championship and because his coach is Jim Harbaugh, that boosted his stock tremendously. But I just don't think he's that type of talent. NFL quarterback wise, I think he was a really good college quarterback, but I don't see him being like a Hall of Famer guy. But the thing is, okay, six guys were drafted in the first round. Half of these guys probably will be average or worse than average, and the other half may be Hall of Famers. Maybe it's a possibility. Three will probably be really good, and three will probably be bad. Or you might even give it two. Maybe two of them might be really good franchise quarterbacks for multiple years, and then four of them, you might get one guy who might be, a career backup, and then three of them probably just gonna flame out. All right, I'm hoping that we got a guy that won't flame out and that won't just be a career backup. I'm hoping we got one of the franchise guys. Caleb Williams. Um, I'm not saying he's going to be bad by any means, but I think he's going into a situation where they're definitely giving him everything that he needs to be successful from day one, which is really good for him, but also it's going to put a lot of pressure on him. Okay, he's going to have to be good from day one. They've invested a lot of money into that team now. He has DJ Moore, he has Keenan Allen. Now he got Rome Odunze. He got DeAndre Swift. He's going to have an offense and expected to produce immediately. Okay, number one pick. You got high hopes, man. You got high expectations. So I wish the kid the best, but it's going to be a lot of pressure on him. So I'm not really sure how that situation is going to go. I think Jaden Daniels walks into a better position, just as far as like no pressure. Um, Nobody's expecting anything from the Washington Commanders. Dan Quinn, new coach, defensive coach, a guy that's definitely a players coach. We know Dan Quinn, right? Um, he doesn't have a great offense over there in Washington. You got Scary Terry, and you got who's that? Brian Robinson at running back, but they're going to be patient with that kid. Um, they're going to be patient. I don't know if he'll start week one. Maybe he'll sit on the bench for a little while, and maybe they'll have a veteran start. But either way, I think he's walking into a situation where there's less pressure, Jaden Daniels, that is, on him. And then you have Drake May in New England. I don't know how that's going to go. Gerard Mayo, God bless you, brother. Um, I wish him the best. But yeah, no more Bill Belichick. Don't know if he's gonna continue the Patriot way, that same style of play as a Josh McDaniels style offense, or are they going to look completely different this season? We don't know what to expect from the Patriots. But I know that fan base has high expectations. They're used to winning, and yeah, it's going to be interesting for Drake May. Um, and then obviously we drafted the fourth quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. He's not going to be expected to play unless, like I said, there's something wrong with Kirk Cousins, and we just don't know about it. Something wrong with his rehab. Something something not clicking right. Um, he might be forced into action earlier than we think. We don't know. Maybe they're keeping things on the hush. Keep it on the hush. Um, keep it on the down low, down low. Maybe they're keeping something on the down low. We don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with Kirk. Um, but the Falcons did say they contacted Kirk Cousins before taking Michael Penix Jr. In the draft. Hit him up. Hey, Kirk, uh, we're gonna draft a little brother for you, man. We just want you to show him around, make him feel welcome. Can you do that for us? I'm sure Kirk was like, "Yeah, man, go on draft my little brother Michael, man, little bro. He got a little rook that he can take around with him now." So um, I think it's a really good thing for Michael Penix. Think about it. He got no pressure on him coming into Atlanta. Michael Penix Jr. Um, he gets to play for a fresh offensive mind in Zach Robinson, a guy who's learned and studied under Sean McVay, who's one of the best play callers, one of the best offensive coordinators in the whole entire league. Sean McVay, I mean, his coaching tree is, almost don't miss. Almost don't miss, right? So, yeah, come in to play under like a Sean McVay type of offense, and then learn from a veteran guy like Kirk Cousins. I think it's. I mean, look at the other places. You go to Denver, you got Sean Payton, who is a great, or I ain't gonna say great, who was once a really good offensive mind. Um, Obviously, had a lot of success with the Saints and Drew Brees, but um, he ran Russell Wilson out of town. He ran Russell Wilson out of town, and then you're gonna be expected to come in and be good right away. Okay, Bo Nix, yeah, he's gonna expect you to come in and compete against freaking Patrick Mahomes twice a year. Bo Nix. So, yeah, that's pressure. You talking about pressure? That's pressure right there. Come in and compete against Patrick Mahomes twice a year, Bo Nix. It's not going to be easy over there with the Broncos. And then you have, who was the other guy drafted? JJ McCarthy. JJ. I'm honestly like the Vikings. I'm like, I'm not saying that it's not JJ's fault, but he's still the fourth best quarterback in that division. He is the fourth best quarterback in that division. And you traded up. So you traded up to still get the fourth best quarterback in your division. You got Jordan Love, you got Jared Goff, Caleb Williams, the number one guy of the whole draft, just got drafted in that division, and then you go get JJ McCarthy, who's going to be the fourth best guy in your division. So I really I don't understand that. That to me that move doesn't put you over the top. I mean, you have Sam Darnold. Why don't you just go get a impactful I mean, they did eventually trade back into the first round and get Dallas Turner, so that made sense. But um, I don't think he moves the needle. I don't think he moves the needle at all in that division. JJ McCarthy for the Vikings. I didn't understand that pick because he doesn't make you better at the quarterback position. This is a quarterback driven league. If you have subpar quarterback play, you're going to be a subpar team. You got fourth best quarterback play in your division, you're going to be the fourth team in your division. You got third best quarterback play in your division, you're going to be the third best team come the end of the season, and so on and so on. Okay. Um, Prime example. Okay. Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young been struggling. What the Carolina Panthers been doing? They've been struggling too. How did the Bears even get the first round pick? It's because they made the big trade in which Carolina gave them their number one. That was Carolina's pick that the Bears acquired. That's how they ended up with the number one pick. And they got the number one guy in the draft last year. And he was the worst quarterback in the NFC South last year. Come on, man. Come on, man. Minnesota, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, the two best quarterbacks in that division. Caleb Williams maybe will have a say about that. We'll see how he does. And yeah, add JJ McCarthy to that mix. Um, a lot of people perplexed about the Ricky Pearsall. Do I have something on my nose? Or is that just Ricky Pearsall pick by the San Francisco 49ers? I'm actually not that confused by it. A lot of people saying Brandon Ayuk wants out in San Francisco. So if he does want out, um, I mean, you got to draft a receiver. So, you know, they don't seem like they're in a hurry to give Ayuk a new deal. Um, could he be traded? Could he be on the move during this draft? It's possible. So they draft a Ricky Pearsall uh, from Florida, um, San Francisco 49ers. I think they needed some cornerback help. Um, I think their corners, some of their corners were, well, at least one corner needed some help last year on their defense. Um, Also, they lost some linebackers. Uh, Thought maybe they go defense because I think the 49ers offense is pretty solid. Um, Purdy. You got Purdy, you got Devo, you got Kittle, you got Ayuk, check. Christian freaking McCaffrey. Like, why are you still drafting offense? I don't understand that. Yeah, I do. I do. If okay, so here we go. Here we go. So I'm watching Get Up ESPN right now, saying should the Bills target Brandon Ayuk? See what I'm saying? Ayuk is in his final year of his deal with the 49ers. I think the writing's on the wall, man. I think he wants out. Um, right after the Super Bowl, getting reports coming out saying that he wasn't happy with his role in the game plan in the Super Bowl. Felt like he wasn't utilized. Um, Thought he could have helped the team win, but he didn't get the targets that he should have got. And it just seems like he's not happy, man. Whenever a wide receiver isn't happy, I mean, first you had Debo who wasn't happy. You can't pay everybody, okay? you eventually you're going to have to decide whether or not you're going to pay Purdy. Okay, he's still on the rookie deal, but his day is coming. You cannot pay everybody. Look at the Chiefs. Okay, they were going to have to choose from Travis Kelsey or Tyreek Hill. They chose Travis Kelsey over Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill went to get his bag in Miami. 49ers going to have to do the same thing, man. Patrick Mahomes needed to get his change. He needed to get broke off. He needed that bag. So that means everybody else can't have the bag. He just can't. Everybody else can't have the bag once you need to pay the quarterback. You just cannot. So, yeah, Ayuk might be the odd man out. He just might be the odd man out. They've already paid Debo. You know McCaffrey's not going anywhere, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to keep Kittle happy. Um, but yeah, Purdy's got his paydays coming, and they've got to make room. So I could see them dealing Ayuk, and then yeah, this Pearsall pick that people are questioning, and it'll make a lot more sense uh, once they either don't re-sign Ayuk or they trade him. So I don't know if they're bold enough to trade him, but it does make sense that you get, some draft capital for him instead of just losing him and letting him walk, unless you want to try to run it back with that team, since made it all the way to the Super Bowl. But what tends to happen to the teams that lose the Super Bowl? They don't even make the playoffs the next season. So the 49ers trying to break that, curse or whatever. But yeah, usually the team that loses the Super Bowl, they don't even sniff the championship game the next year. They normally just have, like, they digress. They normally have a very hard, challenging season the next year. So uh, I think I'm gonna get off of here, man. It's 6:30. Uh, I really can go back to sleep. I'm going to be at a conference for the next 2 days, but I just wanted to give y'all some therapy, a calming voice, Falcon fans, man. It's going to be all right. I understand the pick. Look, we weren't going to have our quarterback that they had targeted. I think they targeted this guy, like I said, over a month ago when they flew out to Seattle and they worked him out. And they brought everybody and they were so impressed. I think they knew then that was their guy. But they thought he might be available in the second round. But from what they heard around the league, and I mean, Adam Schefter and guys like that were saying, he wasn't going to make it past 13. He was not getting past the Raiders. The Raiders reportedly were even looking to trade up for him in the draft before the Falcons picked. So, yeah, Falcons identified their guy and they made the move. A bold move. And like I said, a move, when you make a move this bold, it's going to be directly tied to your job, Raheem Morris. And probably Terry Fontenot, too. If they miss on this pick, if Kirk Cousin goes down, if Kirk Cousin plays his 2 years and Michael Penix Jr. come in and he plays like hot garbage, hot trash, Coach Heem and Terry Fontenot, y'all going to be in trouble. But if he comes in and he looks amazing, and if he looks like a Pro Bowl caliber player, get them boys a raise. Get them boys a raise. All right, man. We'll be back with our day 2 draft reactions later. It's your boy, Let's Pray. Hope you're having a blessed and a prosperous day. Happy Friday, Falcon fans. Much love to y'all. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for voting. We'll be back with, our reaction for day 2 of the NFL draft. Michael Penix Jr. Welcome to the Falcons. Peace, y'all. And I'm out.